Why did you guys break up? Ah, shit. What'd you do?
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Was it you?
It was life.
It's life.
Accountability.
See, I like you. See, that's what I'm saying.
Did you mess up?
Yeah, a few times. You know, we all make mistakes.
Okay. All right. Did you regret it?
I mean, nah.
No, but you're young still. You know what I'm saying? And that is like, probably, that was your first and probably only real relationship.
King Combs, the son of famed music mogul Shah. Diddy Combs has recently made headlines due to his appearance in court. The specific nature of the court proceedings has raised public interest after the arrest of Diddy. Critics argue that Diddy, despite his success and influence in the music industry, has not provided a positive example for his children. Do you think the allegations against Christian Combs are a reflection of his upbringing under Diddy's influence, or is there more to the story?
Diddy's son, Christian, aka King Combs, is now being sued, just like his father is. A woman filed a lawsuit against King, alleging that in late 2022, right before New Year's Eve, King assaulted her on a yacht, specifically sexually assaulted. There was a party going on, she was working it, and she claims that he started to hone in on her, roping her, trying to kiss her. She claims that she tried pushing him off of him, telling her that she didn't want it. And she claims that he continued pressing on and pressing on. In her lawsuit, she actually claims to have audio recordings of this, and she includes transcripts of all of this. And in the transcripts, if they're believed to be true, they do in fact show her trying to tell Christian, hey, leave me alone, I don't want this, leave me alone. Eventually, she claims she got away from Christian. He kept hounding her. He told her, hey, take me to a place I can sleep on the yacht. She took him to a theater room, and this woman claims that's when he continued to try and sexually assault her, trying to force her to give him oral sex. Somebody eventually came in, she claims, and interrupted the whole thing, and she was able to escape it. But she also claims that she might have been drugged that night because there was alcohol going around. She suspects it might have been spiked. And this is kind of similar in nature to the lawsuit that Diddy is facing from one Rodney Jones. And interestingly, Rodney Jones is actually crucial to this lawsuit as well. This woman is claiming that Rodney Jones was on board that night, and that the audio recordings she says she has, she got from Rodney Jones because apparently he was recording at the time. The woman suing Christian Combs is actually being represented by the same lawyer that Rodney Jones has. And we should note about this lawyer, he is actually facing a little bit of a hearing in New York right now. Basically, there's a judge that's looking into whether he has filed frivolous lawsuits that are meritless. So he's kind of in legal hot water there, separate from this whole case. Just something to keep in mind. Diddy and his team have denied all the allegations, as has Christian Combs. We'll keep you covered with the latest.
Allegations have surfaced, suggesting that King Combs is facing legal action from a woman who has accused him of inappropriate behavior.
Charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them.
The lawsuit reportedly claims that Combs engaged in wrong behavior and issued threats to fulfill his desires. Clips 5. Speculation has also arisen regarding Diddy's role in potentially covering up the allegations against his son, according to some reports. Diddy may have used his influence and resources to shield King comes from further legal scrutiny.
Diddy faces 5 sexual misconduct lawsuits, including a cover-up involving his son King Combs. Latest plaintiff alleges assault and cover-up. Grace O'Marque alleges King Combs groped and attempted to rape her in 2022, with Diddy accused of aiding and abetting. Diddy's properties raided in sex trafficking probe, as his legal team maintains his innocence amidst mounting accusations. Diddy and King Combs face charges of assault, battery, sexual assault, and emotional distress, despite denying previous accusations. For the latest updates on the Diddy and King Combs scandal, watch the full story on Genuine.
Clip 6. Critics argue that instead of addressing the allegations, he and the family has relied on their wealth and...
So when I seen them, I said, yo, you remember me? And they was like, nah, I don't remember you. But like Christian and Justin are the ones that, like, to this day, you know what I'm saying? Like, Justin just hit me, I want to say, about a week ago? And he was like, yo, man, he said, he said, no matter what we go through, always remember that we stronger together. You know what I'm saying? And then it was one time that we was at a party in Vegas, and he said, yo, I don't know what you and my father going through. He said, but I remember that you was there. And I said, I was there where? He said, you was at every football game, bro. So when he talked to me like that.
2022, and allegedly Diddy aided all of this behavior. The woman alleged that there's audio recording of him allegedly assaulting her in the studio, because they had a studio on the yacht where he was recording most of the time. And he was recording with Lil Rod. Apparently, Lil Rod has been collecting evidence the entire time he was with him. Now, I'm not going to say her last name, but her first name is Grace. You can go find her last name, though. Now, mind you, Grace didn't come with the party. Grace was a staff member on the yacht. And she said she has audio of her denying him as he continues to grope her. Now, this is what was allegedly said on the audio. Excuse me, you don't have to touch my leg like that. I'll move my leg where I want them to go. Grace is her saying this in the recording. If I want to do this, then I will. Don't touch my legs like that. Now, allegedly, Christian Combs wanted her to stay in the studio. Allegedly on audio, she's heard saying, I can't. I have to go down. I have to go down. She informed him that her boss would have to permit her to stay in the studio. So he was allegedly trying to keep her in the studio. And she's like, no, I got to go downstairs. I got to go back to work. Christian Combs allegedly say, then who can I talk to? I'm going to say, I'll request you right now. According to the suit. This is all according to the suit. Well, you can take your hands off me. This is Grace talking. Well, you can take your hands off my ass for the first thing, Grace responded. Grace says Christian pressured her to taking shots which she believes might be spiked. She says that the alleged assault had a deep impact on her mental health and her professional and personal life, and her boss hasn't believed the alleged allegations. Child, follow that YouTube.
Influence to evade scrutiny. This has sparked a larger conversation about the role of celebrity and power in shielding individuals from the consequences of their actions.
His son Christian is now being dragged into this whole mess. Allegations now directed at Christian, naming him for sexual assault, and Diddy as the defendant.
Yeah, so a woman filed a lawsuit for an incident that happened back in December 2022. So Christian Combs, Sean Puffy's son, he's being accused of sexual assault, but Diddy is being sued for liability because he was the person who rented this yacht. So the woman alleges that this all went down on a yacht back in December 2022, where Christian Combs was on the yacht. Of course, the young woman was working as like a bartender, like a server type of thing. So, you know, they have people on these yachts that typically provide like service, food, drinks, whatever. She alleges that at one point she was called into the studio, music studio, where, interestingly enough, Rodney Jones was there.
Who's also alleged stuff against Diddy as well. He's got his own suit.
Yes, so Rodney Jones was there and Christian Combs was also there, Christian's Diddy's son. She claims that Christian was like pressuring her to take a shot. She took a shot. She was trying to get out of the room, according to her lawsuit. And then she claims that at one point he like pressured her to take another shot. She managed to escape the room, but she did say that at that point she felt a little dizzy. But she claims that before she left the room that he was groping her, he was grabbing her ass, her breast, just touching her inappropriately. She claims that she was sexually assaulted in that instance, but she was able to leave at least that space. However, she then goes on to say that later in the evening, Christian Combs had retreated to like the cinema to sleep in, so like the movie theater on a yacht.
This yacht has a movie cinema?
That's just to let you know.
And a recording studio?
To let you know how rich these people are.
Right. Okay.
They have a theater in the damn yacht.
And this Rodney Jones, who's in the studio, basically records everything, has audio running, has cameras running, because apparently Diddy likes his whole life being recorded. Cameras going the whole time, allegedly.
What you would think is like, why would you want cameras and recordings if you know sketchy alleged things are happening?
Right.
But because Rodney had these alleged recordings, the woman now has these alleged recordings, which she included and the transcripts in her lawsuit. But back to the cinema situation. So she alleged that later on in the evening, Christian was sleeping in the theater because there was no other space in the yacht for him to sleep in. She was then requested to go to that theater. She went to the theater and she claims that he then assaulted her again in the theater, and she was only able to escape in that situation because her partner, because they're assigned, I guess, partners if you're working on staff, her partner realized that she hadn't returned back to their room, and her partner went to look for her, and then that's when her partner discovered the alleged victim and Christian Combs in the theater together, and the victim was able to escape.
Wow.
Crazy situation.